De nuevo, bienvenido por la celebración de grande fiesta de Nuestro Señor de Guadalupe. Again, welcome to all of you as we celebrate this great feast. Quick history of the feast, I'm sure many of you know about it, but I think the timing is just amazing. Europeans, mainly Spaniards and Italians, discovered the New World. I don't like the word discovered because it was here before. They found there was a Western Hemisphere in the year 1492 with Cristoforo Colombo coming to islands in the Caribbean and discovering that 1492. This event at Guadalupe happened in 1531. That's 39 years later. After 39 years of Europeans coming to the Western Hemisphere, now what we call the Americas, Mary appeared to a young boy of Indian descent. His name was Juan Diego. Simple man, hard worker. And like many of Mary's apparitions, she appears to the simplest, oftentimes young, rather than to presidents and prime ministers and kings and queens and wealthy people, to just very ordinary people, like Bernadette, like the three children of Fatima, and now to Juan Diego. And what often happens is no one believed them. Bernadette was not believed by her bishop there in France, neither were the Fatima children in Portugal, and neither was Juan Diego in Mexico. He went to his bishop and said he had seen Mary, and the bishop said, I need a sign. I need some kind of sign. I don't think this is really possible. The fact that there was actually a diocese that early, in just 39 years after the Europeans came to the Americas, already the Catholic Church was established in that part of Mexico, with the dioceses and parishes and so on. So Juan Diego goes back and he asks for a sign. And this is winter, December of 1531. And Mary points to a spot on the hill and all of a sudden there's roses there. And the roses normally didn't bloom that time of year because of the cold weather. He picks up the roses and puts them inside his tilma or cloak, and kind of carries them like that, kind of making a basket out of his cloak. And he takes it to the bishop. And when he drops the cloak, the roses fall on the ground, and then imprinted there is that beautiful image as you see on the screens there, that beautiful image of Our Lady of Guadalupe. The bishop was convinced. And ever since then, pilgrims by the hundreds, if not thousands and thousands, have come to that beautiful place. I was able to visit the shrine of Our Lady of Guadalupe about 10 years ago on the feast day of today, December 12th. And it was just amazing. Again, I realized that on this feast day there'd be thousands, there were thousands. And the devotion was just amazing. Actually, that image is still there. Again, it's 400 years old, something like that. It's now protected by glass just to make sure that no vandals would do any damage to it. And you stand on a kind of a moving sidewalk and you walk by. It goes slow enough so you can spend time, but you can get back in line and go again. Then I was able to celebrate Mass there with some of the priests who were there. And I was so moved by the devotion. That's why Our Lady of Guadalupe is the patroness of the Americas, North America, Central America, South America. Even though it's only Central and South America that have Spanish as their first language, whereas North America has mainly English, now more and more Spanish, and in Canada, mainly English and a little bit of French as well. But the patroness of all three Americas, North, Central, South, is Our Lady of Guadalupe. What is the message of this feast? The message is to look to Mary to find out how we should live our lives. And so the gospel that Father Jojo read was about Mary being concerned about someone else who might be having a difficult time in her life. Mary had just been told that she was to become the mother of the Messiah. She was not married yet. She was very young. She had to tell Joseph, her fiancé, that she was pregnant and he wasn't the father. And that would boggle anyone. But then she heard in that same conversation with Gabriel that her relative Elizabeth, an old woman, really past the time of bearing children, miraculously conceived. Mary thought, I'm sure Elizabeth needs some help. So she perhaps acted as a midwife to Elizabeth's birth of her child called John the Baptist. That's how Mary was. She was always looking out for others. Remember the wedding feast at Cana? That poor couple was going to be, embarrassed because they ran out of wine. Very well, talk to Jesus. I'm sure he can do something, and he changed water into wine. She was bringing her relatives to Jesus all the time, saying, listen to him. So we look to Mary, not just because of this amazing apparition in Guadalupe, not just because she was immaculately conceived, as we celebrated 4 days ago, but because she is the perfect example of what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ. Do you want to be a closer follower of our Lord Jesus Christ? I'm sure the answer for me and for all of you is yes. How can we do that? Serving others. It's all about service. It's all about caring for others, reaching out for others. We do that in a wonderful way during this holiday season. All the food we gave for Thanksgiving baskets a couple of weeks ago. All the hundreds, I think over 1,000 gifts we're going to give to children, seniors from our angel tree. But people are hungry in January too, not just November. People need things all year long. They need our love. They need our time. They need us to be there for them. So as we celebrate this major feast of Mary on the calendar, let us remember that she is an example to us of what to do, how to follow Jesus Christ. And Jesus said so himself. Love one another. Feed the hungry. Clothe the naked. Be there for those who are thirsty. Visit those who are sick. Pray for those who are dying. All those things Jesus said, we are to be other-oriented. Love your neighbor as yourself, so the neighbor comes first, and then take care of ourselves. So again, as we dedicate this feast to Mary, let us dedicate our lives to being more like Mary, serving others in God's name. God bless you.